deal. Love this place. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do our best to help.
They will after today, hopefully.
This is amazing. There's Jim Coventer. I don't know who else is dignitary-wise is here.
So all the elected officials are on that side.
But I'm not going to have to name them.
No.
Okay, good. All right. You know, all right.
Elected officials and candidates.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll point them out.
Yeah, they see this as a good bit of free publicity.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Also, Channel 3 seemed to rebrand pretty fast from the outset. I know maybe you guys
Well,
did
no,
different.
they had it planned from when they launched. They had it all done.
Okay, so they had everything in place.
I still haven't changed my Twitter. No, wait. I think I changed my Twitter. I don't know. My Facebook. I don't use them too much, and I should.
I don't.
I kind of have an aversion to Twitter.
People are going to forgive me. I think everyone has an
Thank
aversion
you.
right now.
And you're so young. You don't mind that I. Thank you for forgiving me.
The charts of Facebook here, and I don't have a person. So, no, I don't know. We have someone living in a community apartment community right now who drives cars. Obviously, that
Oh.
overnight he was driving local trains.
Yeah, they did that rat fast. Yeah.
Let me just make sure. Hey,
Okay.
there is Gene's
Okay. Well, it's too late for me to read that now.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
All right, so
But I'll get it.
it is a yes. No.
He said, no, I'll bring it by. I'm gonna learn. But I'm not. So we'll get it. Well, it was my fault because my fridge went low. They said, "Hey, did you bring your laptop?" Yeah. It was forever, and then all of a sudden, about 3 weeks ago, now, my husband said, "Oh, well, just click on this and go out and do this." And I did.
Oh, yeah.
It has worked off and on, unpredictable. So, anyway, that's okay. We'll make it work.
Okay. All right.
I know it's not
So-
ideal.
Senator Blackburn's office. Hopefully, you can move this slot again.
Camera.
I was trying to walk in.
She needs to be back here.
Yes.
She was representing her. We just asked her.
Yeah.
He needs to be seen.
I always feel like they couldn't come themselves.
Okay.
I know that's me. Like the mayor too.
Yeah. Well, Mayor House. I also serve as the city mayor and the city council.
Oh, well, put that down.
Okay, so you got Zach here. That's right here. So you have Hoppinger. You have no commissioners here.
Okay.
Rakita's not here. So it's the mayor's office, Ella Smith. Former Congressman Zach Long, of course Hoppinger. And then you have Lincoln Shattuck with Senator Harry's office, and Nick Kistenmaker at Blackburn's office. Hey, Rusty. Watch out, guys.
So,
I appreciate it.
do you see where Isaiah and them are?
You don't remember
What?
we met a year ago.
I can't hear you.
And I do a lot of other stuff. I didn't see him.
Okay. It's okay.
I've got to go get him.
Come here.
And my dad.
You're gonna walk through and sit by Isaiah. Actually, no.
There's also a way to get you something back later. There's a clear.
Lieutenant General Richard Scobee. That's the one that's also in frame. He's a Lieutenant General Don Rodgers. Where you want me to go?
All right, you can sit right over there on that bench if that's okay. If you want. It's hard to get there, but it's like, you know, it's like playing on a minefield.
I just call him Don.
Yeah.
Makes it good.
A lot of people do.
I would be.
Awesome.
All right. Yeah, there's Ellsworth right there.
Are they to registry? Are you going to recognize him?
I don't know. I'm not sure he will. Nobody.
Yeah.
And I'll actually do that. I'll tell her that it's her choice.
Okay. Excuse me. Right. CSAS, right? Yes, I got it. Okay, awesome.
The Space Medal of Honor. The Space Medal of Honor. Awarded to America's men and women who, in the performance of their duties as astronauts, have distinguished themselves by exceptionally meritorious efforts and contributions to the welfare of the nation and of mankind. To all of us, their lives and achievements have not gone unnoticed. For more than 60 years, astronauts have aroused our imagination and touched our emotions like few others have or can. We've experienced through them the marvel of space travel. From the power and spectacle of the launch, to the joy and amazement of weightlessness, to the awe and wonderment of landing on the moon.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Wrapped in those brief moments of anticipation and fulfillment are perilous feats of courage, commitment, integrity, patriotism, and sacrifice that have always left us wanting more. Since 1969, when Congress established the Space Medal of Honor, there have been just 28 recipients. As was the case when he was the first to walk on the moon, Neil Armstrong led the way. Since that time, the honorees are a veritable who's who of NASA and the space program. They've included Mercury astronauts John Glenn, Alan Shepard, and Gus Grissom, Jim Lovell, Frank Borman, John Young from Gemini and Apollo, and Space Shuttle crew members Shannon Lucid and Robert Crippen, just to name a few. Added to that distinguished list in 2004 was Francis Richard Scobee. From a very early age, Dick Scobee dreamed of flying. From his home near Auburn, Washington, he marveled at planes taking off and landing at the local airport, all the time hoping one day of becoming a pilot. His personal quest to fly began in 1957 at age 18, when he enlisted in the United States Air Force. Assigned to Kelly Field in San Antonio, Texas, Dick worked as an airplane mechanic during the day and at night attended community college. While in Texas, Dick also met and married June Kent, whose educational ambitions matched those of her new husband. In the summer of 1963, the couple, along with their young daughter Kathy, moved to Tucson after Dick was accepted into the Air Force Institute of Technology and the University of Arizona. Upon graduating 2 years later with a degree in aerospace engineering, he was chosen for officer training school, and following a quick recess back in San Antonio with June, Kathy, and now their son Richard, they moved once more, this time to Georgia, where newly commissioned Lieutenant Dick Scobee got his first chance at flight training from the seat of a T-38. A year later, he received his wings. Given his choice of planes, he selected Lockheed's C-141 Starlifter, a new addition to the Air Force cargo fleet. His missions took him around the world, almost a prelude for what lay ahead. However, the bliss the family felt turned to concern when Dick volunteered to fly combat missions in Vietnam. For his service, he was promoted to captain and received his first decorations, the Distinguished Flying Cross and the Air Medal. His return home after a year at war was met with a new assignment, the Aerospace Research Pilot School at the famed Edwards Air Force Base in California, the home of America's test pilots. Over the course of the next decade, Dick logged thousands of hours in dozens of aircraft, including the Boeing 747, the experimental X-24B lifting body, the F-111, and the C-5 Galaxy, the largest transport aircraft in the American military arsenal. As with all great pilots, he wondered, what next? The answer came in January 1978, when Dick was selected by NASA to be part of the Space Shuttle program. The years of hard work, training, school, persistence, and all the sacrifices made by him and his family seemed to have finally paid off. The journey ahead was to take him above the sky and into space. Dick Scobee was not just a pilot, but an astronaut. In April 1984, he lifted off on his maiden voyage aboard the Challenger orbiter on STS-41C, in what was to be an historic flight to repair for the first time a satellite in space.
Always easier than 0G. Moving around up there is really nice.
Put on the seatbelt just to hold me in the seat while we were doing some of our burns.
Notice it takes a few books to do that operation. We got, and that all went very nominal as far as we were concerned.
The mission was a resounding success. Eager to return, he was chosen once more, this time as commander of STS-51L. Their job was to deploy a new satellite, study Halley's Comet, and carry the first teacher, Krista McAuliffe, into space. The crew of 7 trained for months on end, preparing, as Dick Scobee always did, for every contingency. When the morning of the flight arrived, January 28, 1986, he felt confident the cold winter chill was a minor detail as he and his team were readied for launch aboard a familiar ship, Challenger. At 11:39 a.m., they lifted off on what would be Francis Richard Scobee's final flight. As one of the nation's Space Medal of Honor recipients, Dick Scobee's life serves as an example of the sacrifice, commitment, and dedication necessary to achieve one's goals. His successful pursuit of becoming first a pilot and then an astronaut led him from a small town in Washington state all the way to the stars. Today, the National Medal of Honor Heritage Center recognizes and celebrates Francis Richard Scobee and how his story is a guiding light for all of us on our journey ahead.
Kids, you understand why we're here, right? That told you everything. It's a wonderful story, and we're going to hear more about it. We're going to meet some special people, very special people. I'm going to use my cheat sheet to tell you that I'm Cindy Sexton with Local 3 News. A little bit of a different title than we used to have, so I have to look at it from time to time, change my habits. But I'm so excited to be here and to introduce you to some amazing and wonderful people who some are representing offices and others are here just simply because they want to be here, and we are so delighted for the support that you all have given this wonderful place. Let me first acknowledge Senator Blackburn's office. Nick Kristenmacher is here. Hello, Nick. Stand up. Thank you. Senator Haggerty, Lakin Shattuck is here. And we are so delighted to see former Representative Zach Wamp. I've gotten to see him a couple of times in the last few weeks. Nice to have you here. And we want to let you know that County Mayor Jim Coppinger is here. Thank you for being here with us. Other folks who are here, some are candidates and some are already in office. You want to stand up and let us say thank you for joining us? Okay. Is Wes back there? Stand up, Wes. Okay, I thought you were here. Thank you. Want to let you know also a very special person in the audience. He is not up here, but Lieutenant General Don Rodgers. Thank you for being here with us. We will acknowledge you. I know June will have some things to say about you as well. As I'm here and looking at this occasion, I can't help but think, wow, is Chattanooga blessed or what? First of all, you may not know, in 1991, you may not have felt it when it happened, but June Scobee Rodgers chose Chattanooga as her home. And she's been here now 31 years, and we are so delighted she and Don came to be here with us. And we hope to somehow give back some of the love that you all have given our whole community. All these kids have been affected by you being here, and so many others, thousands, dare I say millions around the world. I don't know if you all are aware, some of you kids may not yet be, but you've probably heard of the Challenger Center. Maybe you visited it. Okay. Dr. June Scobee Rodgers is responsible for helping and putting all of those. Right now, the count is 45 in the country and around the world, Challenger Centers, and 2 more will soon be opened. She'll tell us a little bit more about that later, but just what an impact. I don't know what we did right, but we are so blessed to have June here and also this incredible museum here. And the fact that June has chosen us over the Smithsonian is really remarkable. And you'll hear more about that as well. She wanted the medal to be here in her adopted home of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and we are forever grateful for that. I want to introduce you. You know June, right there, of course, in the blue. Next to her is her daughter, Kathy Scobee Fulgham. And next to her is Emily Krause. And I'm going to come back to Emily in a second, but also Kathy's brother. We are so delighted you've come here to be with us, Lieutenant General Richard Scobee. I know you as Rich in all of the discussions we have about you and your family. Emily was a 5th grade teacher at the school that's represented here in front of you all, CSAS, Chattanooga School for the Arts and Sciences, and we're so delighted for that as well. Thanks for telling me that. I'm going to turn it over now to, and I want to let you know, be thinking, if you have a question, we're going to open it to questions a little bit later on. Keep it informal and just let you have a good time so you can learn more about what's going on and what this day really represents. But let me turn it over to Colonel Frank Hughes, USMC retired. He is chairman of the Board of Trustees of this wonderful place.
Thank you, Cindy. Well, I want to welcome everybody to the National Medal of Honor Heritage Center. It's been a long time coming, and we've had some interesting years. And I want to, where's the Coolidge family? They're the Coolidges. I just want to make sure we welcome them and thank them for all they've done and their family. And I also would like to show you or introduce you to some of the trustees and advisory directors. Would y'all stand as a group if you're here? All right, Linda, where are you? Mark? There they are in the back there. We've got a great group of advisors and trustees, and you look at what we've done and how we've done it, it's because of them, and I'm so proud of them. Trying to think anybody else we missed. I do need to mention Noah Long. Where is Noah? You need to stand up. He and Bill Raines made this happen. I mean, it is without those two specifically, this place does not exist. And it was a Herculean effort, and they led the charge. And so thank you so much. I'll say this. We've been open 2 years, and right after we opened, COVID hit. So it's been an interesting time, and we have thrived. We have done okay. And when many have failed, this Heritage Center has done okay and survived well. So I just wanted to say that. I want to say hello to the Scobee and Rodgers family. Thank you so much. We appreciate your support and your belief in us, and we will do everything in our power to make you proud. Now let me talk about the Heritage Center itself a little bit. Take a minute. This center is about education, and because that is what our heroes wanted. We've talked to these Medal of Honor winners. They wanted to teach what they thought was important, which, if you look around, you'll see these character traits that they so dearly believe in. And to let you know, these guys sacrificed unbelievable amounts. You think of Doss, and you think of, Charles Coolidge. These guys were heroes. And y'all need to know who these people are and what they believed in. And I just want to say this, that we've got a group of young individuals here. Can I call you kids? Is that allowed? And they're from CSAS. What grade are y'all in? All right. I'll just read this to you. What you need to know about the heroes sacrifice much for our country and for our freedom. And you will learn what these heroes stood for if you go through these exhibits. These are special guys. And who has ever heard of Desmond Doss? See that guy up there on that cliff? That's Desmond Doss. And he lowered 70 people off of a cliff during a battle. Imagine that. And he was a small fella. So the feats these guys go through, it's amazing. But this is about y'all. This is what we're here for. We're here for you because the Medal of Honor recipients wanted to pass on these characteristics to you for you to hold dear and to go through life with. Okay. Now, added to this existing Heritage Center are the stories of Lieutenant Colonel Francis Richard Scobee. We at the Center are grateful to the Scobees and the Rodgers family for their contribution of the Congressional Space Medal and Commander Scobee for his service as American astronaut. As you saw with the video of Dick Scobee, working his way up through as an aircraft mechanic, to pilot, to astronaut, to shuttle commander, this guy started as a E1, which means he is the very lowest rank in the military, and he rose up to the rank of colonel. That is so rare. Anybody who's been in the military knows this. It's rare for a prior enlisted to succeed in the officers' ranks, and they're just special people. And I note myself, as a colonel, I was not prior enlisted. I wish I could have had that title, because it was like gold, because they had paid the price. General Rodgers, I think you've seen that with prior enlisted. It is rare, and God, do they do a good job in the military. And I wanted to compliment him on that and spend some time there. The road is not, for the path he chose, he needed help, and he had a great partner in June Scobee. The way is not easy. He was surrounded by a wonderful family, and that supported him through his journey. And we are all grateful for the service and the unfortunate circumstances that took him from us. And as we hear this morning from those who knew him best, Dick Scobee embodied all those qualities that we at the Center feel is important in the lives of daily Americans. And now listen to this: citizenship, patriotism, sacrifice, integrity, courage, and commitment. Know those and learn those. They'll serve you. In the coming months, we will develop a new immersive exhibit on the life and career of Dick Scobee. And if you go to our website, you will have the opportunity to contribute to the exhibit as we begin the campaign to add our award-winning gallery. So we'll do that. Let me say in closing once more how grateful we are to the Scobees and the Rodgers family for their support of the Heritage Center and the mission by their invaluable contribution of this award. Thank you very much.
This is where we get to hear from the family, and this is going to be such a treat. I'm going to ask you to go ahead and come on down here with us, June. I want to let you know some of the things you may not know about her. She has her own PhD. She's the founding chair of Challenger Centers, is the widow, of course, as you well know now, of Challenger Space Shuttle Commander Dick Scobee. In memory of the Teacher in Space mission, June founded Challenger Center for the Space Science Education to foster a new generation of star challengers. Star challengers, y'all hearing that? Young people who will reach for the stars no matter their circumstances. And June joined up with the other family members of the Challenger to do that. But she was indeed the leader, the one who made all of it happen. And we thank you so much for being here and what you have done making this happen today. Right there.
Thank you, my good friend Cindy. Well, I'm going to tell you why we want to hang this Medal of Honor here at this in Chattanooga at this Heritage Center. And after I've told you why, then my daughter Kathy and son Rich and Emily are going to tell you what kind of dad he was. So think about your dad. Is your dad your hero? And then they'll tell you why their dad was their hero. Now, I can't see everybody because of the lights, but I know, thank you so much for coming, the Wamp family, Mr. Coppinger. Thank you so much for bringing your parents here, Rusty, Sharon and Ellsworth McKee. Some of you have been to Challenger Center know that up there at the top of Mission Control, it says their mother's name. So that Challenger Center is in their mother's names in her honor, Ruth McKee. And you'll see that when you go to the Challenger Center. And thank you very much for being here. Now, some of the best travelers in the whole world are Gay Ann Burns, a good friend, and Steve Johnson. They have traveled with me and Don a number of times, across Europe even, and what great friends to put up with us. I want you to know my husband now, General Rodgers, was a ranger. He was a special ranger who jumped out of airplanes, just like you see this parachute and this guy jumping out of an airplane. He could do that. He was an airborne ranger, and his motto is, "Airborne Rangers lead the way." I knew that would come up. Next to him is Kathy's husband, Captain Fulgham. As you can see in his police uniform, we're very proud of another uniform in our family, and he also served in the military. Don's son, Eric, could not be here today. He's in Texas, but his wife, Ann Rodgers, is here, and we're so happy you joined us today, Ann. I know there are others I'd like to say. Okay, the best neighbors in the world, Nancy and Jeff Fry, Dr. Fry are here, and Joe Preble next door to us are here. Thank you for joining us. And great friends who have joined us today. Now, I've told you some of their names, and you know our names. So CSAS, when I count to 3, I want to know what your name is. Are you ready? Do you remember it? Okay, ready. 1, 2, 3. It's my pleasure to meet you. Thank you. Now, why did we bring this opportunity to share this Medal of Honor with you all? Well, every day I like to go down to Starbucks or somewhere local downtown and take a walk. And then I walk around the aquarium, and I walk through the garden area. And when this building came up with Medal of Honor in the name of it, I thought, oh, there's a Medal of Honor hanging on the wall in my home. No one gets to see it, except when we're passing down the hallway. So I thought, what a nice idea if they would accept it and give it a home here in our hometown of Chattanooga. So I talked to Rich and Kathy, and I said, would you like to share your dad's Medal of Honor here? And they all agreed this would be a nice place for its home. So here it will be, and later you can see it when you walk through to exit. You'll see it hanging, and you can look at it closely. So that is one of the reasons why we wanted to have it here, to share it with you all, so many more people could see it, and students in the future could see it. So tell your friends next time they come to the aquarium, they must also come here and see the medal. And then they need to go over take their younger brother and sister and go over to the Creative Discovery Museum. And don't forget to sign up for a Challenger Center. And summer camp is just around the corner. So thank you all for being here. And now I want to introduce my children. Kathy has actually jumped out from planes and been on hang gliding. And so she's a brave one. She takes after her dad very much. Her brother, Rich, has flown nearly 4,000 hours in the F-16. And yeah, how about that? And and he keeps his 3 stars polished. And he's flown dozens of the same airplanes that his dad flew. So, yep, is definitely his dad's son. And then they will introduce you to our proud Miss Krause, who will talk to you also. So thank you, Kathy and Rich, for being here.
You go first. Okay. Hey, everybody, how we doing today? Good, I'm glad. Very enthusiastic in the front. Back needs a little work. Hey, this is for Kathy and I. We're really excited to be here, and we hope that Eric, our brother, is watching, who copped out of being up here with us today. And Ann, please relay our sentiments of disappointment to him. This is a great opportunity for us, for Kathy and I, to be here. If there was ever a place, you know, as a lieutenant general in our Air Force now, if there was ever a place I did not feel qualified to give a few words, it would be here, in this Heritage Center. I've been amongst all these heroes, but I'll tell you just a quick story from my perspective is that nobody here that's been, that are on these walls, represented here as Medal of Honor recipients, and my father included, designed their careers and their lives around making it into a place like this. What they were able to do is take advantage of extraordinary circumstances that they found themselves in. And that's what this place is to me. And that's why, as Mom was talking to Kathy and I about the Medal of Honor having a place here, believe me, I would love it also to be in our houses as well, to see, because we're so proud of the man that our father was, and our mother for that matter, and the great example that Don has been to me throughout my career. But really, what is important about it is we share those things that are these stories about the people that are on these walls, because it's important to understand. It's about extraordinary people put into circumstances that allowed them to shine to their fullest ability. That's what this country has done for us all. This is a story that's unique to the United States. I mean, I have been everywhere on this planet in 40 years in the Air Force. I have met almost everybody. No country in the world does the things that we are able to do. To take this story, and I know Kathy will expand on this a little bit, from turning wrenches on a flight line, being a mechanic, to commanding a space shuttle. That is a long road to hoe. No country, Russia, China, any of the big major superpowers, anywhere in the world gives their people these kinds of opportunities, except for our country, the United States. We have flaws that we have to work our way through, but if you look at the greatness of what we are able to accomplish on the world stage and how we stabilize countries that are struggling, nobody does that but us. And so that's what this Heritage Center is to me. It honors the people that went above and beyond to fulfill their duty to our country, but it really speaks to who we are as a nation. And so it's very exciting for us to be here in Chattanooga, our hometown, and be able to do this. And I'll tell you, as I was talking this morning to my wife, Aline, or she likes to be referred to, Mrs. Scobee. She is, it's really about how we give back to the places that mean so much to us. And I'll tell you, that is this one here. And to our fifth graders that are here with us today, thank you for joining us. We're very excited that you could be here too, and we hope you enjoy the displays, especially this one, but all the ones that are here in the Heritage Center. Thanks for being here. And I'll tell you, it is my honor to introduce my sister, Kathy Scobee Fulton.
Thank you. Mom and Rich are the speakers in the family. So so I'm kind of a background girl. But one of the things that I love about the Heritage Center are the stories. When I came here for my first tour, I couldn't get over how bravery, citizenship, sacrifice, all of these qualities were shown in the people who were highlighted here. And it's such an honor for my dad to also be amongst these heroes. And now his story will be told to countless people who are coming through, looking at the exhibits and learning about him. And, you know, all of us have touched on the man. He was such a modest man, and he would not believe that all of you would be here to talk about him and his award. He just was a behind-the-scenes kind of guy doing his job. And when I think about him being an airplane mechanic and growing through the progression of finally becoming a test pilot, well, Vietnam, but a test pilot and then an astronaut and everything, when people talk to him about it, he goes, well, it's just a natural progression. You know, I just follow the natural progression. But he was a hero, and he did sacrifice, and he was certainly my hero long before he was anybody else's hero. So just thank you so much for having us here today, for taking part. And I want to introduce you to Dick and June Scobee's granddaughter, who has the biggest fan club of any of us already here. And she was inspired to become a teacher, and we are extremely proud of her.
Hey everybody. I'm a little bit taller than other members of my family, it appears. It's an honor to be here with you guys today. My grandparents knew the value of education. They really helped and supported each other through school, through motherhood, fatherhood, degrees, promotions. My grandfather eventually becoming an astronaut, my grandmother eventually getting her doctorate in education. Both of them, their passion for education and for knowledge really is what inspired me to become a teacher. And, you know, these are my kids. I would have had you guys this year if now I work with universities and community colleges, but I miss you guys every day. And it's you guys being here today, thank you, because this makes it today even more special that you guys are here. And I want to tell you a quick story about when I wore Dick Scobee's flight suit to school one day. It was Dress As You Want to Be When You Grow Up Day. And I don't know if you guys remember it. It was a couple of years ago. And so I wanted to be an astronaut. So I talked to my family about possibly wearing his flight suit. And I wanted just a NASA shirt or something. And my mom was like, well, just wear his flight suit. You know, I just have it in the closet, you know. And it's the one that's out in the display now, too. So you guys can see that and imagine me. And so I was very nervous about wearing something so special. But just before school started, I was sitting in my classroom and I was amazed by all of the pockets and zippers and every Velcros of the suit, and I was investigating them. And as I stuck my hand into one of the pockets, I felt the Velcro of a patch. And so I pulled it out, and it was a name plate, and it said Grandpa Scobee on it. And we didn't know that it was in his suit. They made it for him as kind of a joke because he was a grandfather about to fly on the Challenger. To me, that was his way of supporting me wearing his suit to school and sharing him with you guys and with the school. And that's what makes this medal so important too, is that we want to continue to share it and for you guys to learn. And students, you guys are the most important piece of the puzzle. It's your responsibility to take these lessons of history to make a better future and a brighter future. So hard work, following your dreams, and a passion for lifelong learning are the gifts that you can give yourself. And that's what I've learned a lot from my family. Thank you.
All right, guys. Scoot back. Think small.
I can stand behind Emma.
I'm going to stand behind him. I don't know if you'll be able to move it much.
Okay. Yeah, ready.
Don't drop it.
On behalf of the National Medal of Honor Heritage Center, thank you so much for this wonderful gift.
It is our pleasure.
I'm gonna move it out of your way.
Do we have a mic, a hand mic? I thought we were going to. Okay. Well, we don't have a hand mic for our wonderful people up here on the what do you call this? The podium? But I'm opening this up to everyone here. You have a question for this wonderful family? Some of you kids may be wondering some things. I mean, just there are probably lots of things we could learn about space and the road leading to it from these wonderful people. Anyone have a question for us? And speak up, please. Okay, go. Stand up. June, you want to take that? How many times do they go into space? Okay, thank you. Just turn it that way or what? I'm going to turn the mic a little bit that way. Okay. Yes, excellent question. How many times do you want to go into space?
You got a small one over there. Cindy, we have another over here.
Okay, all right.
Stand up.
Dad?
Well, he was a great dad, but he mostly taught us how to do things that were fun, in addition to all the integrity things that you learn from your dad. But he built me a backstop to play basketball, and I was a good roller skater, but he taught me how to skateboard. And but as a teenager, I was awful, and he put up with that, and we grew from that experience together. But Rich has lots of stories too.
Well, it was an interesting family to grow up with. My mom, great role models to us. They gave talks, so we learned to play the piano when we were young. That was I learned humility from my father because my first piano recital he went to, it was so bad. He said, "You don't have to play the piano ever again." But he also taught me how to fly airplanes, and I've made a career out of that, which I really enjoyed. So he gave us a lot of opportunity, that's for sure.
Thank you.
That worked out.
Flying worked out for a piano, not so much.
Yes. I'll come to you next.
What kind of person was he like?
What kind of person was he like? That's going to be a hard one because I know there's so much to it, but would one of you like to take that?
He was kind of humble, modest, and anytime someone said, "Oh, are you an astronaut?" he'd say, "Oh, no, let me introduce you to my wife. She is has the noble profession. She's an educator." He believed in persistence. That was one of his key role models. A lot of people are smarter than I am. A lot of people have more talent than I do, but nobody's going to work as hard as I do to be a pilot. He really, really wanted to be a pilot. He loved his family, loved his children, and when he died, we really, really missed him.
You don't want to ask that now?
No, I can't stand up.
Oh, okay. What's your question?
He's been. Wait, I forgot.
Okay, we'll come back to you, okay? Yes.
Why did he want to be an astronaut?
Why did he want to be an astronaut?
When you're offered an opportunity to serve as an astronaut, you write a message to NASA. And in his message, he thought it would be the next extension to being a test pilot. So as a test pilot flying airplanes, he flew as fast as he could and as high as he could, and he thought the shuttle would be the next highest and fastest thing to fly. And he just said it was a progression, moving on to the next step. And just so it could be an airplane. He loved to fly any kind of airplane, little light airplanes, fast airplanes. He loved to fly any airplane.
If he were here today, what would you say to him?
If he were here today, what would you say to him? Do all of you want to do that, or June?
We would, first of all, he would be humbled that you care. And he wouldn't want to talk about himself. He'd want to talk about his airplanes and flying in space. He would be really good to you guys. He would sign autographs for you. He would ask you what school you go to. He would say, how old are you? What grade are you in? And tell me what your hobby is. What do you like to do? What else do you think he'd say? He would say he was honored to be a part of this celebration of his life instead of his death. And that really means a lot to them. It would have meant a lot to him. And I would tell him how proud I am of him and my mom. Yes.
How long was his longest trip?
Yeah, I think that would be amazed at how we grew up. We were pretty young when he passed away. And you're going to find this shocking, but I was not the most talented child on my block. So I think that he'd be amazed at what we have been able to do with our lives. And I think my sister has always been there for me. She is a kind of a bedrock, and every time I struggle with things that are going on in my career or in life, she is the one that I lean on. I think he'd be very proud of me for that. That's for sure. But I think he would be amazed. He was incredibly humble. He loved, like you said, having the kids here to learn about those things. But he always shunned the spotlight. So he was, bringing up people and showing them what opportunities they had ahead of them was much more important to him than meeting famous or important people. He wanted to make sure that everybody had the opportunities to learn and get educated and thrive in that kind of environment. I think that would have been amazing for him. And I'd like to show him that his legacy has actually brought that to a lot of our country, which is amazing. mostly because of a lot of the work that you've done.
And this fellow back here wants to know, what was his longest trip in space, his longest journey?
7 days, I think.
7 days. 7 days, where they repaired the satellite in space.
And he'd like to eat tortillas with peanut butter on them. So there was a stash of that on the space shuttle.
They had peanut butter and tortillas on the space shuttle just for him? That would be an easier food in anti-gravity surroundings, right?
Cindy, you got 3 over here.
Okay. Do you want to choose one? I can't see very well over there.
I was wondering if he was like, were there, because I picked up that he was sort of a fun, goofy dad, but were there moments where he was serious and he would get angry or frustrated with something? Yeah.
Yes. That's the next question. Exactly. Just like all of us sometimes get frustrated. They gave us opportunities to do things, Kathy and me both. And I remember, whether it was ride motorcycles or try to put a horse on layaway. They were really, trying to scheme your way through childhood and get caught doing it. He would get frustrated with how we would get. But we were given a lot of latitude, and occasionally Kathy and I stepped over our bounds a little bit, but we get frustrated. It was just like parenting can be a challenge, that's for sure. I'm sure the occasion must be fun.
He always had a good ring.
Yeah.
Green shirt.
The projects that he worked on. He, as a hobby, he painted. He drew pictures of airplanes. He designed some of the patches, and you'll see the patches on his uniform. One is a black hat, and if you walk by, because they were teasing him that it was going to be an unlucky 13th flight, and ended up being the 11th flight. But they just said, no, it's going to be a lucky flight, and it was. He drew the airplanes, and then when we moved to Houston, we had a big wall, and I had no art, no paintings to go onto it. So I asked him if he could paint some pictures. And there will be one on display in F-16, which is kind of implying that his son was rich. He was woodworking. He liked to make things. In fact, he and Rich were building their own airplane. So he had a lot of hobbies and interests besides just flying the airplanes. He liked building, and he loved to make airplane models. So when I first married him, I went to his home where he grew up as a kid, and there were airplane models hanging all over the room. So that was another interest, was making those models.
We have time for just a couple of more questions. Yes.
Describe him in 3 words. What words would you use?
If you could describe him in 3 words, what words would you use? Modest.
Persistent.
Persistent. And stubborn. Oh, yes. Do you think he would have wanted to have a different job?
Then being
An astronaut?
He loved being an astronaut. But honestly, one day, he was very frustrated about politics in the office. And he said, you know what would be fun? Is just to be a mailman. I think I'd like to be a postman. I said, why? And he said, because, you walk, you get exercise, you get to say hello to people and move on. And no one tells you what to do, just deliver the mail.
All right. Thank you, everybody. As we close, Frank, would you like to say a word or two? Are we good? Okay. I just want to say, if I can say this with any amount of eloquence, that this family took what was one of America's darkest moments in our history and turned it into all these bright lights around the country and bright lights that are shining right here in Chattanooga. And I just can't thank you enough for what you've done.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. This concludes our presentation. If you will please have a seat, we are going to move our fifth graders out. Teachers, if you will follow Miss Hannah Shear.
Bye, kids. See y'all. Thanks for coming. Yay. Come back and visit us again.
Yeah. Yeah.